What's going on, everybody? So hope you are having a great week. Oh, by the way, thanks to all my subs, my members. If you're neither and just watch the channel, I appreciate it. Before we get into it, I got something really nice for you. So watch this. I'll be right back. What'd y'all think about that? Well, that don't put you in a relaxing state of mind. I don't know what does. Anyway, now we had some bad storms up here yesterday, so I decided to drive around, and man, there's some tree limbs down everywhere. But in the midst of all that, old Don B found something beautiful. So that's what I found this morning in the midst of all the destruction up here. So all right, let's get into the meat and taters of it. God, I got a lot to talk about. Let's see, where do I start? I'll go ahead and start like with you know, the whole black eye thing. You know, Candus supposedly getting, you know, abused, or, you know, was it a DV going on? I mean, if it is, guys, if it is going on, again, if the kids were still there, right? If they had got the boys back, you know, and I'm sure they've witnessed it before, but I mean, it's just, the thing is, you know, after Summer went missing and after the boys were taken, they've had every chance in the world to turn their lives around, and have failed to do so, even to the point to where the boys were taken, you know. Is the addiction that strong? Or are we just dealing with some really sick individuals here? You know what I mean? I mean, even I would think, even if I had an addiction like it, I don't think that I could just give up my kids. You know what I mean? It's just like they, you know, it's just another day to them without my kids. You know, that's, I gotta quit saying, you know, starting to sound like somebody. Anyway, it's just, I don't know. And the other thing I want to talk about is, a lot of people keep asking me, you know, if Don and Candus has told anybody anything about, you know, well, the channels that they talk to. You know what I mean? You know, they've been on, God, they've been on like dozens of channels. If they've told any of them anything, it's probably a lie. You know what I mean? Because the way I look at it is, if Don and Candus really trusted any of these YouTubers, they'd be in jail right now. They would. So I think everything that Don and Candus has spewed out over the last 2.5 years almost has been nothing but, you know, deception, lies. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. You know, was it an accident? I don't think. I don't think so. I really don't. Because they're just hollering with this. She was taken and all that stuff. Honestly, guys, I believe that. I really believe that there's more and a lot more to the CPS story than we really know. I think there was a lot to it leading up to Summer's disappearance that we really didn't know about. And we might, when all this, you know, comes to light, and hopefully if Summer gets justice, everything will come out, and so I want you to hold me to this, guys. Mark my words. When all this is said and done, those skeeters. Mark my words. There's gonna be some type of serious CPS involvement before Summer got gone, leading up to Summer getting gone, and after Summer got gone. That's what I believe. The other thing too is, you know, a couple days ago everybody was talking about Dawn and Grandis going off to on a trip right after Summer disappeared, and I said I call BS on that, because number one, Dawn hates Grandis with a passion, and I think the feeling is mutual. I don't know, just and why 2.5 years later come out with something like that? So I was like, you know, I called BS on it. Dawn confirmed it, I think, on someone else's YouTube channel. So there's that. I knew it. Let me go over this. Everybody's talking about this 911 call that Candus was on, and I guess you could hear Summer in the background saying, "Mommy, help me." And I guess Candus said you know, he's trying to hurt my daughter. So it's a guy, and Summer's involved, right? Now, my question is, I don't know if anybody's ever touched on this, but in analyzing that whole situation with the 911 call and, you know, Summer saying, "Mommy, help me." Why didn't anything come of it, right? Why didn't anything come of it? Again, if Summer was actually being hurt and Candus knew about it enough to call 911, I don't know about you guys, but if someone was hurting my child enough to where I had to call 911 on them, well, first of all, I'd be calling 911 to come clean up the mess, first of all. But if I was unable to keep my child from being hurt, and I called 911, you bet your damn dollar that son of a bitch would be in jail, prison, or I'd try every way in the world to keep my child from being hurt. I'm telling you, if I was in the, if I was in her shoes, I'd have probably been calling 911 to come clean up the mess, because whoever it was, wouldn't have been laying hands on my daughter ever again. You know what I mean? And y'all probably feel the same way, right? So, what's going on there? Is there a, you know, if this is all real and everything, you know, Candus turning a blind eye towards Summer's well-being? I'd like to know more about that, you know what I mean? If it was important enough to call 911 and say, trying to hurt my daughter, and your kid's saying, Mommy, help me, you know, somebody's getting their ass handed to them. And I think, I'd bet you about any jury in this country would probably acquit you on saving your kid's life by doing whatever you needed to do. You know what I mean? So did Candus, is there a pattern here? We've all heard that, you know, allegedly Jody Sue said, you know, Andy watched them beat Summer. Never said nothing about it until she got gone, allegedly. You just got that house up there surrounded by all them trees. It just reminds me of a compound, guys. It reminds me of a compound. And where it's so private, you know, especially in the summertime where you got all them trees. You probably can't see the house, period, from the road. And, you know, from the sounds of things, you know, there's allegedly a lot of bad stuff going on at 110 Ben Hill Road. Right? That's what I'm saying. I think CPS was involved. I think this was really, really serious, way more serious than what we think. And I do believe Summer was about to put some people in prison. And this is just my theory, my opinion. And well, Summer had to get gone. And you know, Candus coming on these YouTube channels, Dawn coming on them, and you know, it just reminds me of what's that lady's name in Georgia? Leilani Simon, Quentin Simon's so-called mom. What is up with these moms taking their children's life? I mean, and she gets on there and she's like, you got these channels supporting Leilani, and she blatantly gets on there and just like is like, well, if I done it, I'll go down to the police station myself and turn myself in, or whatever she said. You know what I mean? Y'all seen the whole news clip. I'm sitting there thinking, she knew what she done. She knew what she done the whole time. And in my opinion, she was thinking, well, they're not going to find a body, so they ain't going to be able to prosecute me. I feel like that's exactly what she was thinking. Almost to the point where she was cocky about it. She was so sure they probably wouldn't find Quentin's body and she wouldn't get prosecuted that, well, I mean, we all watched them. We heard about them going out to the bar partying, and in the midst of her son, you know, getting killed and thrown in a dumpster, and it's all just games to these so-called parents, you know what I mean? You know, and the sickening part to all this, guys, is these are the parents of these kids doing it. You know, Leilani, Lori Vallow, Daybell, whatever the hell. Megan Boswell. Right? And it goes on and on and on. These are these kids' parents taking them out. And then they get on TV and just act like you know. They see on TV and lie straight face to people, lie straight face to the police. And then how we ended up finding out how Megan was, you know, taken out. That was just sick. Her own mom, upside down in the trash can, stuffed her mouth full of aluminum foil. That's what I heard anyway. Still alive. I don't know. And there's people out there that would love to have kids that can't. Right? So in that 911 call, if that was Dawn hurting Summer, was Dawn actively abusing Summer? If that was Dawn. And whatever happened to that situation after? Did the police ever come? Were there ever any questions? Boy, I'd love for Jonathan Lee Riches to pull that information. I don't know, I might be able to get that information. Kind of curious now. Yeah, to hear this 911 call, guys, and then to hear this, take a listen.
Y'all go over there and ask why exactly it is he was selling drugs to the children. Why he was potentially causing little girls over there to be sedated and to be touched. Know that he was selling to the actual children, over there. But then that Candus was getting it for the kids too. So you go ask him why he was selling drugs to those children and to Candus for the children. Go ask. And ask him what type other than weed. Looks so sweet.
Jody Sue also said that Andy knew Summer was being beaten and that he saw signs of SA.
She wouldn't be fucking gone if he had just done something. He would have had the proof everybody else who called in didn't. It's that simple. But he hid it from everybody. He fucking hid it. Wow. After she vanished, then he tells me he watched him beat her. Never said a fucking word. So, but he hid the abuse happening this summer. And he may have very well helped with other very bad things. Or he wouldn't have hid the abuse happening to her. He wouldn't have turned a blind eye when we kept seeing her pull at herself and stuff in some of the last days.
I want to start with the Summer Wells case in Tennessee and the reason police were called back to that family's home recently.
Yeah, Marty, police have been to that house before, and they were back at the house on Wednesday. According to the police reports, someone called 911, said that they heard fighting coming from the Wells home. When the deputies arrived, they say that Candus Wells, Summer's mom, said that Don Wells, Summer's dad, had hit her, put his hands around her neck, and pushed her up against the wall. The deputies said they didn't see.
Bly filed an order of protection against Wells the following day, writing, quote, "I am afraid of being hurt. He is abusive physically and mentally toward me. I am afraid for my children and myself."
What goes into the decision of putting that Amber Alert out? Can you clarify the difference?
Sure. After the initial search and as we developed more information as part of the investigation, our team made the decision to elevate the alert to an amber.
And what's the difference between those two alerts?
An endangered child alert is a mid-level alert where a child could potentially be in danger. An amber alert is, we issue those when we believe a child is in imminent danger of bodily harm or death, and it's the most severe alert.
I think I'll just leave it right there. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it right there. I think Jody Sue, I think she can speak for everybody right there. I think Jody Sue pretty much sums it up. So, guys, what do you think? I know I've been off for a while. Back with a bang. I know y'all are probably digging this video. Back with a bang. So, let me know what you think. Drop some comments below. I hope you enjoyed that sunrise and the geese flying by. Oh, Don B's pretty good videographer, ain't he? I got some skills, man. I got some skills. Anyway, drop some comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. See you guys tomorrow night.